everyone, welcome. Today we'll be discussing a growing concern in modern education. How AI and online content have made plagiarism easier and how this affects academic integrity. We're approaching this topic in a debate format. Two of us will focus on the effects on students, while the other two will argue from the perspective of teachers and educational institutions. This is not about choosing a winner, but about understanding which side face deeper and more long term consequences. Let's begin with the student side.
Thank you. I would like to begin by respectfully disagreeing with the idea that teachers are the most affected group. From a student perspective, the rise of AI-assisted plagiarism directly undermines the learning process. When students rely on AI to complete assignments, they stop practicing essential skills such as writing, critical thinking, and problem solving. Instead of engaging with the content, they focus solely on submissions and grades. Over time, this leads to students who can submit polished work but cannot explain the ideas or justify their answer. While teachers may face an increased workload in monitoring and assessment, students lose the very purpose of education, learning itself. This negative impact does not end in classroom but follow the student into higher education and their future careers.
I understand that concern. However, I strongly disagree with the conclusion that students are the most affected. From a teacher perspective, AI-related plagiarism does not just affect the individual assignment. It transforms the entire teaching and assessment process. In the past, in the past, assessment were reliable tools to measure understanding. Today, teachers must first question whether the work is submitted is even authentic. This forced teachers to spend extra hours analyzing writing style, comparing previous submission, and using AI detection tool but before grading can even begin. As a result, time in for feedback, mentoring, and improving lesson quality is significantly reduced. In addition to that, teachers face the emotional pressure of making judgment calls, accusing a student of plagiarism without absolute proof risks damaging trust, while ignoring the issue risks lowering academic standards. This constant ethical tension add to the teacher stress and burnout. So while students may lose certain skill, teachers lose their ability to teach effectively and fairly, and that affect every student in classroom.
I respect that point, but I must challenge it. Students do not do sorry. I respect that point, but I must challenge it. Students do not turn to AI because they are lazy or dishonest by nature. Many students today are under intense academic and personal pressure. They face overlapping deadlines, heavy course loads, part-time jobs to support themselves, language barriers for non-native speakers, and constant fear of failure. For students who struggle with academic writing or confidence, AI feels less like cheating and more like a survival tool, a way to cope with expectations they feel unable to meet alone. When success is measured only by grades and speed, students are pushed toward shortcuts instead of genuine learning. If the education system continues to prioritize performance over understanding, it is unfair to place all the blames on students. The misuse of AI reflects deeper issues within the learning environment, not simply for student ethics.
That may be true, however, it does not justify the consequences. From an institutional perspective, AI driven plagiarism creates serious ethical and legal challenge. Universities must consider data privacy when using AI detection tools and navigate unclear ownership of AI generated content. AI doesn't make plagiarism easier, it makes lazy assignment obsolete. If a chatbot can answer your essay prompt, the prompt was likely a test of mimicry, not mastery. These are risks that threaten the credibility of degree and qualifications, which affects not just students today, but graduates in the future.
I acknowledge that institutions and teachers face significant challenges, such as maintaining academic integrity, and redesigning assessment. However, I strongly disagree that these challenges outweigh the impact on students. When students depend too heavily on AI, they gradually lose confidence in their own abilities. They might struggle to participate actively in discussion, fail to apply knowledge in real-world situations, and feel anxious or insecure during oral presentation or examination. This emotion, physical, psychological impact cannot be ignored because education is not only about system policies, it's about developing capable, confident individuals.
I hear that concern, but I might emphasize a critical point. Teachers are under increasing pressure to uphold academic standards while adapting to rapidly evolving technology. Many educators were not trained to deal with AI tools, yet they are expected to identify misuse, redesign assessment, and guide students on ethical AI use. This creates a skill gap where teachers must constantly self-learn new technology just to stay relevant. With- Without proper institutional training and support, this expectation is unrealistically and unsustainable. Furthermore, when students submit AI-generated work, teachers struggle to provide meaningful feedback because they are unsure who the real author is. This weakens the feedback process, which is essential for student improvement.
With respect, that argument still overlooks student development. The true purpose of education is to prepare students for real life, not just to help them pass exams. When AI replaces thinking, analyzing, and problem solving, students may graduate with certificates but without competence. Over-reliance on AI weakens essential skills such as decision making, communication, creativity, and independent thinking. These are the skills students need in the workplace and in society. Employers do not hire based on perfect assignments. They hire individuals who can think, adapt, and solve problems independently. So, even if institutions manage to protect their system and reputations, students may leave education unprepared for real world challenge. In the long term, this harms not just individuals, but the quality of the future workforce.
I respectfully disagree, and here's why. Teachers are now expected to redesign assessment AI proof to be AI proof, just as its oral exam, in class writing, and project based evaluation. While this method reduce plagiarism, they also increase preparation time, grading workload, and class management challenges. On top of that, larger classes make personalized assessment extremely difficult. This means teacher must be chosen between fairness and feasibility, which compromises academic integrity in another way. Without proper resource and realistic expectation, even the best designed integrity policies will fail.
I respectfully disagree because institutional impact shapes students' future. If academic integrity collapses, degrees lose value. Employees begin to doubt qualifications, and honest students are unfairly compared to those who cheat using AI. Eh, At the end of the day, integrity means doing the work when no one is watching. AI makes it too easy to pretend. If we normalize the synthetic essay, we are graduating a generation that cannot think for themselves. We must protect the sanctity of the human mind.
That's a valid concern, but we should not overlook the importance of prevention over punishment. Students need clearer guidelines, better academic support, and more realistic workloads. Many cases of plagiarism arise not from dishonestly, but from confusion about what is permitted, what is not. When students are properly educated about ethical and responsible AI use, the expectations are clearly communicated, misuses decrease significantly. By guiding students instead of only penalizing them, we cannot protect academic integrity while supporting meaningful learning.
I agree that education is key, but responsibility must be shared. Teachers and institutions cannot carry this burden alone. Academic integrity requires clear policy, consistent enforcement, and shared accountability between student, educator, and institution. If integrity rules exist without enforcement, they lose meaning. Technology should assist learning, not replace effort and honesty. To conclude, AI and online content have made plagiarism easier, but their impact goes far beyond copy assignment. Students risk losing essential skill and confidence, while teachers and institutions face ethical, professional, and systematic challenges that affect the entire education system. Technology should support learning, not respect honesty and effort. Only through shared responsibility and ethical awareness can academic integrity be preserved. Thank you.